Welcome to the Texas Department of Transportation San Antonio District's virtual public meeting for the US 281 South Comal project. The virtual public meeting room will be available from Tuesday, May 18, 2021 through Wednesday, June 2, 2021. Virtual public meeting materials will continue to be available at www.TxDOT.gov, keywords US 281 South Comal, under the Download section of the meeting notice page. Throughout this presentation, we will give you various ways you can submit your comments and ask questions. Let's get started. Given the unique circumstance of the COVID-19 outbreak, along with TxDOT's commitment to protecting public health, TxDOT is conducting this virtual public meeting to limit in-person contact and large gatherings. At this time, the virtual format will be used in lieu of an in-person public meeting. The virtual public meeting covers the same information that TxDOT would have presented at an in-person public meeting. All meeting materials can be found on www.TxDOT.gov, keywords US 281 South Comal. This slide provides an overview of the agenda for the meeting. We will go into more details on each of these topics throughout the meeting. The purpose of this meeting is to present the proposed improvements to US 281 and to gather public feedback on the proposed project. Your input is valuable and will be considered by the project team for design refinements where appropriate. Questions or comments may be submitted to the US 281 South Comal project team at any time during project development. However, to be included in the official public meeting record, all comments must be postmarked or received by Wednesday, June 2, 2021. Written comments may be submitted online as part of this virtual public meeting under the Participate tab, or may be submitted by mail or by email to the US 281 South Comal project team. Attention to Jackie Lopez at 5835 Callahan Road, Suite 200 in San Antonio, Texas 78228, or to US 281 Comal at pozcam.com. Responses to comments received during the public comment period will be provided in a documentation of virtual public meeting report and will be available for public review on the project's website at www.TxDOT.gov, keywords US 281 South Comal, once it has been completed. The limits of the proposed project are on US 281 from East Borgfeld Drive to SH 46 for a distance of approximately 6.3 miles. The project limits are located within the cities of Bulverde and San Antonio in Comal and Bexar counties. In order to construct the project and tie into the existing US 281 outside of the project limits, construction would extend approximately 0.2 miles south of East Borgfeld Drive and would extend approximately 1.7 miles north of SH 46. Currently, US 281 is a 4-lane highway with 2 lanes in each direction and a large grassy median. The existing right-of-way width is approximately 225 to 315 feet. Within the project limits, there are currently no frontage roads along US 281, and the roadway operates as a non-controlled access highway. Drainage is accommodated by an open ditch drainage system. There are existing overpasses on US 281 at East Borgfeld Drive, FM 1863, and SH 46. Here is an existing typical cross-section of what US 281 typically looks like today. As you can see, US 281 consists of 2 12-foot travel lanes in each direction with inside and outside shoulders separated by a large median. No bicycle or pedestrian accommodations are currently provided along the corridor. The US 281 South Comal project is needed because US 281 between East Borgfeld Drive and SH 46 is experiencing population growth and an associated increase in traffic congestion, resulting in reduced mobility and safety. The increased population in the project area has led to an increase in the number of businesses, driveways, and cross streets along US 281, which increases the possibility for crashes along the corridor. The purpose of the proposed project is to relieve traffic congestion, improve mobility, and improve safety on US 281 within the project limits. Under implementation of the proposed project, US 281 would be expanded to a 4-lane freeway with 2-lane frontage roads in each direction, with space in the median that could accommodate future transportation improvements. Now, let's watch a short video that describes the major components of the proposed project.
Things are changing near US 281 in Comal County. The population is growing almost 5% every year. That's twice as fast as the Texas average. And over the next 30 years, traffic on 281 will double. Many drivers already treat this road like a freeway, but it isn't designed like a freeway. With dozens of driveways in Comal County running directly into US 281, local drivers don't have enough space to merge on and off the road. To stay ahead of this growth and improve safety, TxDOT has been converting US 281 to a freeway in Bexar County and will now extend that freeway an additional 7 miles to Highway 46 in Comal County. As part of this improvement, new frontage roads will protect local drivers and driveways from faster commuters passing through the county. Existing interchanges will be adapted to the frontage roads to maximize efficiency for drivers. For instance, at the current Highway 46 interchange, on and off ramps are in a standard diamond shape, which directs all merging traffic into the same area. The new design takes these entrances and exits and distributes them up and down US 281. This decreases congestion at Highway 46 while increasing access to businesses and neighborhoods along the corridor. In addition, the on-ramp near Borgfeld will pass over the off-ramp. This configuration reduces cross-traffic on the frontage road while simplifying travel for vehicles getting on and off the new freeway. To the south, drivers on Casey Road and Mustang Vista will still be able to cross 281 thanks to a new connection under the freeway, making it easier and safer for east-west travel. Computer models predict that keeping the existing design would lead to dramatic increases to travel time in the near future. The new design, however, virtually erases that increase, and this difference will become even more notable in the years that follow. Meanwhile, separating high-speed from low-speed traffic should reduce driveway-related crashes by 63%, while the Casey Road overpass should reduce nearby crashes by 65%. Not surprisingly, these significant upgrades will require us to widen the road. And we've been working hard to minimize this impact on surrounding areas. For instance, rather than simply widening equally on each side of the road, the new freeway and frontage roads move back and forth in relation to the existing road, adapting to natural features and properties. The improved design also incorporates extra space between lanes. This will allow us to make future improvements without changing the new footprint. Extending improvements on 281 into Comal County will lay the foundation for transportation needs in this area for decades to come. Another example of how TxDOT is connecting you with Texas.
As you just saw in the video, the proposed US 281 would consist of a 4-lane divided freeway with 2 lanes in each direction, as well as one-way frontage roads with 2 to 4 lanes in each direction. Auxiliary lanes would also be provided throughout the project limits on the main lanes and frontage roads where needed. At cross streets, intersections, and major driveways, turn lanes would be provided. Exit and entrance ramps would be constructed at strategic locations along the corridor to allow vehicles to enter and exit the freeway. These ramps would be placed in locations that allow for access to the major intersections at the proposed grade separations. Lastly, sidewalks would be provided along the frontage roads. As we've touched on, there are existing overpasses on US 281 at East Borgfeld Drive, FM 1863, and SH 46. At East Borgfeld Drive, an overpass is currently under construction. This overpass would remain in place under the proposed project. At FM 1863 Borgfeld Road, the existing overpass would be improved by adding frontage roads and approach and departing lanes. At SH 46, the existing overpass would be replaced with a wider bridge to accommodate auxiliary lanes and future expansion. A new overpass would be constructed at Mustang Vista, as was described in the video that was previously shown. The project would also include widening of FM 1863 from US 281 to east of Wiley Road. In addition, a new extension of Mustang Vista on the west side of US 281 would be constructed, which would provide a connection from Casey Road to Mustang Vista. A southbound entrance ramp for traffic traveling from SH46 would be braided over the southbound exit ramp for Mustang Vista. North of SH46, a southbound frontage road would be constructed. Here is the cross-section of what US 281 would look like if the proposed project were constructed. As we've discussed, US 281 would be upgraded to a freeway with main lanes and frontage roads on both sides of the roadway, with entrance and exit ramps, auxiliary and turn lanes, and sidewalks along the frontage roads. The proposed right-of-way width is approximately 400 feet, but varies down to 315 feet and up to 450 feet in certain locations. The proposed right-of-way line varies from approximately 0 to 200 feet from the existing right-of-way line, depending on the location. One of the purposes of the proposed project is to improve safety on US 281 within the project limits. Many project elements are proposed that are anticipated to improve safety along the corridor. These include constructing an overpass at Mustang Vista, constructing frontage roads that provide access to driveways and cross streets, upgrading US 281 to meet freeway design standards, and providing sidewalks and crosswalks for pedestrians. By upgrading US 281 to a freeway with frontage roads, local traffic would be separated from through traffic. Under the proposed project, vehicles would enter and exit driveways from the proposed frontage roads, which would have lower traffic volumes and speeds than what exists on US 281 today. Now, let's dive a bit deeper into the traffic analysis that was conducted as part of the project. Population and traffic growth have been occurring in Comal County and along US 281. Traffic projections done for the project anticipate that this trend is likely to continue into year 2049. In 2019, traffic volumes at US 281 and FM 1863 were approximately 62,000 vehicles per day, and at US 281 and SH 46 were approximately 57,000 vehicles per day. Using predicted population growth rates for the area, future traffic volumes were projected for the corridor. This analysis indicates that by 2049, traffic volumes at US 281 and FM 1863 would increase to approximately 108,000 vehicles per day, which relates to a 74% increase from existing conditions. Similarly, at US 281 and SH 46, traffic volumes are anticipated to reach approximately 97,000 vehicles per day in 2049, which is a 70% increase from existing conditions. The project team also compared travel times on US 281 from East Borgfeld Drive to SH 46. The graph shown depicts the estimated travel times on US 281 in the AM or the morning peak hour. Using projected traffic volumes on US 281, the project team compared the travel times expected in 2049 under the no-build alternative and proposed alternative. The no-build alternative is the alternative where the proposed project is not constructed and US 281 continues to operate with planned and funded improvements, mostly as a 4-lane highway. The proposed alternative includes constructing the proposed project and upgrading US 281 to a 4-lane freeway with frontage roads. Under the no-build alternative, by 2049, it is estimated that it would take approximately 33 minutes to travel northbound on US 281 from Borgfeld to SH 46 and take approximately 13 minutes to make this trip in the southbound direction. Traffic signals and turnarounds were considered under the no-build scenario at Mustang Vista, which reduced travel time somewhat in the southbound direction. However, in the northbound direction, the capacity of FM 1863 at US 281 and Wiley Road is anticipated to result in traffic backing up onto US 281, resulting in higher travel times for northbound traffic. If US 281 were converted to a 4-lane freeway with frontage roads, which is called the proposed alternative, travel times on US 281 would be approximately 6 minutes in both the northbound and southbound directions in 2049. Also, the proposed project would greatly reduce the amount of time needed to enter the freeway from driveways and cross streets by providing lower speed frontage roads. This chart shows the comparison of travel times for US 281 in the PM or evening peak hour. In the evening, travel delays are anticipated to be even worse than the no-build alternative compared to morning delays, with approximate 47-minute delays for northbound US 281 traffic, and 30-minute delays for southbound US 281 traffic. The proposed alternative would greatly reduce travel times to approximately 7 minutes for each direction. The proposed project is not currently funded for construction. Therefore, an estimated timeframe for construction is not available at this time. The estimated construction cost for the project is approximately $240 million. If approved and funded, the proposed project would involve widening of US 281 and would require the acquisition of approximately 80 to 100 feet of additional right-of-way. Information on the right-of-way acquisition process is available for download and review under the Review tab of this virtual public meeting, including a landowner's Bill of Rights, relocation assistance document, and state purchase of right-of-way booklet. Information concerning services and benefits available to potentially affected property owners and information about the tentative schedule for right-of-way acquisition can be obtained from the TxDOT District Office by calling 210-615-1110. Acquisition and relocation assistance would be in accordance with the Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Properties Acquisitions Policies Act of 1970 as amended. The project team identified the various environmental constraints within the project area early in the project development process and designed the proposed freeway to avoid or minimize impacts to these important resources. A summary of some of the environmental resources located along the US 281 corridor and project area include several creeks and tributaries, the Edwards Aquifer Recharge Zone, adjacent churches, a daycare, and RV parks, and large tracts of undeveloped agricultural land and wooded ranch lands. Other environmental resources include an adjacent private cemetery and historic age structures, several noise-sensitive receivers, adjacent gas stations, fuel tanks, and auto repair shops, and portions of the project within a non-attainment area for ozone. Maps showing the environmental constraints in the project area that were considered during project design are available for download and review under the Review tab of the virtual public meeting. The US 281 South Comal project involves environmental analysis of the project under the National Environmental Policy Act of 1969, also known as NEPA. Several environmental studies will be prepared to identify, minimize, or avoid and mitigate potential project impacts to environmental resources. This includes studies on biological resources, water resources, cultural resources, community impacts, traffic noise, hazardous materials, air quality, and indirect and cumulative impacts. After environmental studies are complete, the project team will coordinate with various resource agencies as necessary, including potential coordination with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, U.S. Department of Agriculture, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Texas Historical Commission, Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, and others as appropriate. Following completion of environmental technical reports and agency coordination, an environmental assessment document will be prepared that summarizes any potential project impacts to environmental resources, as well as provides avoidance and minimization measures as needed. The draft environmental assessment and the technical studies will become available for public review and comment upon their completion at the project's public hearing. The US 281 South Comal project began in 2018. The project team conducted an extensive alternatives analysis for the project and vetted several alternatives based on feedback from the city of Bulverde and Comal County, as well as the avoidance of impacts to environmental resources, adjacent properties, and the topography of the project area. A preferred alternative was selected, and the project team held meetings with potentially affected property owners in mid-2020 to early 2021 to discuss the proposed improvements and garner feedback on the project. The purpose of this virtual public meeting is to gather feedback from the public. The project team will consider all feedback received and will make design refinements where appropriate. Schematic approval and environmental clearance are anticipated in late 2022. The next steps for the project would consist of right-of-way acquisition, utility adjustments, detailed design, and project construction. However, these pieces of the schedule are currently to be determined as the project is not currently funded. Thank you for your time and for participating in this virtual public meeting. Your input is valuable, and we encourage you to submit comments on the proposed project. You may submit your comments online as part of this virtual public meeting under the Participate tab by making comments directly onto an online schematic map of the proposed improvements or by submitting an online comment form. In addition, you may email your comments to the project team at us281comal@pozcam.com. You also have the option of downloading a comment form under the Review tab and mailing your comments to the project team at the address shown on the screen. Questions or comments may be submitted to the US 281 South Comal project team at any time during project development. However, to be included in the official public meeting record, all comments must be postmarked or received by Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. Responses to comments received during the public comment period will be provided in a documentation of virtual public meeting report and will be available for public review on the project's website at www.TxDOT.gov, keywords US 281 South Comal, once it has been completed. Again, thank you for your participation and input. Please navigate through the remainder of the virtual public meeting where you can download and review project handouts and exhibits and provide your feedback.